Yeah, buddy. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish. We're back at it again with our next critical thinking series. This is definitely an exciting video for me because we got to talk about some of the latest and greatest coming out for you guys here in the middle of December. Talking about some of the possible new units. Probably some of the ones to watch when it comes to trying to incorporate this particular dungeon. I'm very excited to get this one out to you guys today. So. The focus on this one is going to be on some specific units, and when I think about the ones to watch, right? Every time something comes out, every time a different what is it called? A different dungeon comes out, right? We have seen time and time and again that not only does CompToUs provide us with different types of Hall of Heroes or secret dungeons that have units that with certain skills that would enhance our ability to clear a particular dungeon, or they just allow us to start using some of the units that we generally don't use time and time and again, right? And so when I think about a raid boss with comparison and with respect to TOA bosses and whatnot, one of the things that is very, very clear when it comes to starting from the giants and dragon type of dungeons to the TOA, and then to the necropolis, and then now the raid boss, is that every time we progress to a particular level of PvE content, there's something taken away from our ability to clear it, right? So when we're thinking about the actual Kairos dungeon, right, and some of the things that these particular dungeons allow us to do, right, when it comes to boss stages, they allow us to get ourselves, when it comes to the bosses, they allow us to dot it, they allow us to, reduce the attack bar on the units. We can, provoke, but we can't stun. We can manipulate the attack bar on it, but we cannot stun, we cannot freeze this and that, whatever, right? That's the first stage. When it comes to giants, dragons, and necropolis, right? And then moving on to Trial of Ascension, talking about the different bosses or whatnot that we take on with regards to these particular things. Everything is more or less the same, but one thing that we cannot do is provide continuous damage effects, right? They're immune to that, right? You can't do it. Now, you can still manipulate the attack gauge, and you can still provoke, right? So we got to keep in tune with that. So that was a big thing when they brought that out in the Trial of Ascension. There's certain things that we can't do from various other dungeons. What can we do? They're forcing us to really try to come up with new and exciting ways of clearing content with what we got, right? So last but not least, we got ourselves the Rifts of Worlds coming on board, and we got ourselves the raid bosses. The raid boss is getting 3 groups of units out there to be able to see if we can go ahead and clear the content. So that this particular setting is going to be hard. Now this video is kind of a brainstorming video with regards to some of my top picks on these particular units, but I would be crazy to say that this is going to be what it's going to be down. But the cool thing about what people like myself and other top players in the community, is that right now, even though the content hasn't come out, right now they're starting to brainstorm, they're starting to think about what kind of things that need to be incorporated in these new dungeons, right? And so when I think about taking the progression from TOA to the raid boss, I believe that everything's going to be still available, with the exception of provoking and with the exception of attack bar manipulation, right? Because as we understand it with regards to TOA right now, attack bar manipulation is one of the most used manipulative aspects of the game that allows you to clear content like you've never cleared it before. In addition to provoking, and we understand provoking as being able to lock down the opponent that you're attacking, forcing them to use their first skill versus their second or third skill that at that particular boss stage can be an extremely strong attack that can basically change the game, right? So when I think about all the unique things that we can do right now that we probably won't be able to do in the raid, I think of one particular concept, right, that hasn't been introduced in any of these particular categories of PvE content that I think will play a vital role in this particular setup. So My focus on today's video is going to be units with skills that are based on enemies' max HP. And why do I think this is going to be strong? Why do I think this is going to be the ones to watch, or one of the up and coming, like the next biggest thing is because when it comes to raid bosses, you guys have seen time and time and again when it comes to certain games, they're going to have really unique criteria for raid bosses in order to kill them. They're going to be very, very specific in nature, and you're going to have to do certain things at certain stages to get the job done. Now, we know that this is automated, so there's going to be no control from our side, but we understand that um, anything can happen at any given time when it comes to these bosses and what they bring to the table. So, when I think about trying to incorporate ways of increasing the damage of your team, with retrospect to the raid boss, right? We understand that the raid boss, if 20 people are hitting it, it's not something that's going to have, 1,000 hit points, right? This is something that's going to have a grip of hit points. So if you're incorporating units that have skills based on the enemy's max HP, it's going to be extremely strong. Now, that being said, we can go on forever as far as talking about all the units out there that are going to be, providing some kind of skill based on enemy smash HP. I'm going to talk about just 4 different units, right? I'm going to talk about 4 different units this time around, and then hopefully, we'll have people kind of chime in as far as some of the units that they think it might be good. Actually, after we're done with this particular segment, you guys can go ahead up in the comment section down below. Some of the other ones out there, there's literally dozens, or more of these units. But I want to focus on some of the ones that I feel are going to be key, and we're going to go ahead and address it. So, out of the 4 units that I'm going to go ahead and discuss, the thing that sticks out the most about them that you'll see clearly as I get to them is the fact that they are all based on light and dark. And the reason why I say that is because we don't know right now if they're going to be what the element of the raid bosses are. We right now we just understand that there's going to be a raid boss, but as you guys know, they're going to be incorporating more raid bosses as we go, and I'm assuming that they're going to play they're going to have an elemental role to play on this. They're going to set these raid bosses based on certain elements, so it's going to force us to bring a particular set of units. We're not going to have these units that we can just throw into every single raid boss. It's going to be unique. And so when I think about what this game is based on around is that the light and dark elements are units that allow you to take advantage of the, a neutral kind of zone, so to speak. So I'm going to talk about some of the light and dark units, in my opinion, that are going to be some of the top ones as far as doing it. So first one up, I don't know how to pronounce this, Big Dude, the Light Beast Hunter. This one's kind of like my number 4th pick. Reason being is because it has the ability, obviously, on the last skill to do the damage based on attack enemies max HP, and I've seen this done on a couple of different streams or whatnot. Oh my god, Bomber's the one that sticks out the most. Is that his damage modifier? I mean, the damage modifier on enemies max HP is really, really strong above all, but this particular unit has a really nice damage modifier on this skill. Can hit extremely hard when taken into consideration. So the reason why I talk about this one is because if there is something that allows you to still utilize the attack gauge manipulation, even though I don't think it's going to be, this one combines the ability of decreasing the attack gauge by 20 per each attack, and then increases your attack gauge in addition to your attack power, which is based on an enemy smash AP. So if this skill is maxed out and the reusable time of this particular skill is down a couple, from 4 to 3 or whatnot, having the ability to increase your attack gauge, whether regardless if you're on a violent set or something else, is going to allow you to get this unit to go more times and get this skill to come up more times, so you can take advantage of it. So I think it's an extremely strong unit. Damage modifiers are cool. Obviously the ability to reduce cooldown time is very, very nice, but of course we're focused on the 3rd skill, which is enemies max HP. Okay, so that's my number 4 there. That's my number 4. Okay. Next one up for the number 3 is going to be Marble. Okay, so we have ourselves again another way of provoking, or another way of providing provoke. Will this be something that we can utilize in the raid bosses? I don't think provoking is going to be allowed. I think that's too OP when it comes to 20 people trying to fight this particular boss. Being able to provoke and not allow him to do what he generally does is going to be hard. But it does have a particular, nice skill set, being able to decrease the attack gauge of everybody, and and the damage is proportionate to the max HP. Why do I consider this one to be kind of like the top three? Because this does have, the attack all enemies, and as we understand it, as of right now, we understand that the raid bosses are, um, something that we may not be able to play with attack manipulation. But if anybody's played any other game, as the game progresses, right, as they start out, they incorporate raids and then they incorporate challenging raids. They always incorporate some kind of an added component, meaning as the raid goes, you're fighting a particular raid boss, but then in different parts of the raid, there will be ads, right? There will be monsters that come out that, start to, attack your opponents or whatnot, and who knows, what they're going to incorporate down the road. But when I think about a unit that provides the skills based on their max HP and the enemy's max HP on two skills, the max HP, and then has an ability to, again, do more damage, AoE damage, and reduce the attack gauge on something that might be coming down the future, in addition to being a light unit, right? And being neutral towards all elements. I think this is definitely one to kind of keep after. I feel that it can be something to use out there for us. So I'm excited to see that one come into play. Okay. Next one up for my number two is going to have to be Lynn. Definitely a unit that a lot of us out there have pulled and threw in our monster box, because there just so many other strong units out there that people utilize, right? And why do I find this more valuable than Marble, right? Why do I find this more valuable than Marble? Because this particular unit has not one, but two skills that are based on the enemy's max HP, right? The enemy's max HP. So again, when we're trying to incorporate ways of doing more damage, this is going to be crucial, right? Having more skills that give you the opportunity to do damage based on max HP. And of course, if the skill is not, if the skill's on cooldown, then you have yourself a great way of landing yourself another hit that has a higher chance of critically hitting. So if you're speccing, attack or damage attack with attack, crit rate, and hit point substats, you're going to find yourself critting, all the time, because you got yourself, the ability to hit here, and then of course, if you have yourself a nice high amount of crit rate, critting on the opponent that on a skill that's based on max HP is going to be super strong. So that's my number two pick there. And then of course, the last but not least, this is the most exciting one for me, because this is something that everybody can get. And again, we have seen time and time and again come to us, showing us that you don't have to have the biggest Nat 5s in the world to get the job done. There's still people using in the meta today units that were provided at the beginning of the game, right? The first one that comes to mind is Seek. Seek is the Firehound that no one would have thought, after 7 or 8 months of playing, that you're utilizing it in an arena speed clearing kind of setup when it comes to their arena offense and whatnot. So without a doubt, Decameron is definitely my number one pick, as far as if they allow us to use skills based on enemy's max HP on this particular raid boss. This one's going to be the next one to pick. And why do I find this more valuable than the light Amazon is because even though he has two skills, his passive allows you to do additional damage that is proportionate to the target's max HP, right? So, obviously it's worded a little bit differently. Enemy's max HP versus target max HP, but it's one and the same. And so, obviously, when you're looking at, trying to bring yourself a unit that's going to provide so much more bang for your buck, having a unit that does provide the attack power for attack power, defense break, this and that, whatever they bring, having a unit that provides some kind of defense or some kind of hostile effect is going to be good. The continuous damage, unfortunately, I don't think is going to be valuable, but the fact is that both of the skills are going to be based on the enemy's max HP because of his passive, and of course we can't forget the ability of being able to be immune towards freeze and stun effects, which you can imagine in a raid boss setting, they're going to be incorporating some kind of an AoE effect of freeze, stun, sleep. That's going to be incorporated. So this is definitely my one. I know that we've had a lot of people over the course of the time showcase some different videos as far as the strength of this particular unit in various dungeons. So definitely, keep that one in mind. I would say farm one for now, just in case we do get an opportunity to use it. Again, this video is coming out to you a couple of weeks before they introduce the new raid boss. So my goal for this video is basically just to get you guys thinking outside the box. Think about the history of Come To Us and what they have done. Every time they incorporate something new to the table, they force us to think outside the box and try to use new units, not old ones that you have, but some new units to be the next, game changers when it comes to it. When we're talking about Necropolis was definitely the multi-hitting type of units that changed the game for people to auto-clear it. And it is my belief that the skills based on enemies max HP is going to be like the ones to watch on this particular one. So what I would like for you guys to do, if you like this particular content, please smash the like button down below, and then also put in, because again, there's at least 10 to 15 units that I can think of right now off the top of my head that are all have skills all based on enemy smash HP. So take a look at the units in the monster box, their skill set, the hostile effects they provide, and tell me what are your top 3 picks. What are your top 3 picks for units that are based on enemy smash HP? Put it down below and give me the reason why. Explain it so that we can all get excited as far as saving these units up. And definitely make note if they're farmable, not farmable. That's something that we're gonna all have to incorporate, because if it's something like the Dark Salamander that we can get right now, it's definitely something that I would recommend farming on the dark day. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. It's a pleasure to make these videos for you. As always, it's your boy Childish with ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.